Hello and welcome to the Foundry Roundtable, our epilogue live stream. We did our marathon live stream about a week and a half ago, where we played, oh gosh, what was it, about 7 missions? And, did a big old farewell live stream. But in the meantime, Greendragoon here has published his part 3 of the Shadow of MIDAS.
I know, the impossible has happened.
Yes, the impossible has happened, and I suspect that was the entire reason behind this sunset, was to get you to finish that, and it worked.
Well, Kale did order me to finish it.
You did, yes. And you did. So that's what we're going to play tonight on the eve of the Foundry sunset. It seems like a great way to send the old girl off, which is to, play the conclusion of one of its premiere series. Which I'm sure Dragoon is very embarrassed if I call it that. But it really is.
Let's just say surprised.
He can't argue with it at this point.
No.
When the community manager has ordered you to make this mission.
Mm-hmm. Also, here's a question. What were the first dozen missions that Brand Flakes put up as spotlights?
Oh God, naming them? I mean, I could just go to the list.
I don't remember.
I think you might get at the point that they're premiere in that they were first.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that Shadow of MIDAS was not spotlit until recently, right?
Yeah, it was one of the latest waves. So,
but it was probably the most popular unspotlit story mission.
Yeah.
Just going by numbers.
That was both parts 1 and 2 were in the
Impact.
top 50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean they're in top 50 and everything. So I mean, this is one that people talk about, and even your part 3, somebody was promoting it on Reddit today.
I know, it wasn't me.
Not you. So this one had reach, and obviously since it is one of our missions, it felt absolutely right that we should give it a play, and it worked out that this was the night to do it.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Yesterday evening, I finally finished uploading the full series of videos I made for Kraos Falling, because it actually took me an hour to play through the mission. So I broke it up into sections because my internet doesn't upload very fast.
Yeah, I was doing, actually Duncan and I were doing Shore Leave Under Siege, which was kind of a great thing to do, run one of my favorite missions right before the sunset.
Yeah. And that one took me a couple hours, and I was loving that. I mean, it was just so fun to go into, just because, I've played it before, but not on this character, and there were some different dynamics with that. So it felt very organic to go through that again, especially with Lieutenant Tardigrade in tow. I mean, going through surely that mission with Lieutenant Tardigrade just has. Oh man, it makes it so much more perilous.
I am on a date, Lieutenant Tardigrade. Stop following me.
One thing that amused me about the Kraos Falling one is that he didn't do this often, but there were certain parts of the mission where you could RP as either someone who's an honorable warrior or not. Granted, he only did this for specific dialogues where he's oh, that one, sure. But one of them is there is a conflict between two groups of people who are part of the invasion force about the proper what's the word for it? Priorities when doing the invasion force. One of them contends that they should, assault the military targets, shoot at anyone who offers resistance, and, basically just forcibly pacify everyone. Whereas the other group, who are not Klingons and Orions, are yeah, we're taking these people as prisoners, and we'll get back to you on the invasion thing.
Now,
Well,
you put that on your YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
I personally found it to be amusing because siding with the Klingons is in some ways right, but in some ways it's incredibly stupid because the Klingons are kind of sort of taking the approach of shoot the prisoners. And you're like, no. Shooting everyone defeats the purpose of invading the planet. If you were really willing to kill everyone, you'd just nuke it from orbit.
All right, so
Shall we get started?
Yeah, I'm right there at the system, so ready to get...
Oh, yes, I'm in position.
Okay. Okie dokie.
Duncan, do you want to do the honors?
I already accepted.
No, I mean, I'm sorry. Greendragoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
To read the recap and everything. Because I think your dialogue starts with a bit of a recap here.
MIDAS, an experimental array once used to communicate with the USS Voyager while it was stranded in the Delta Quadrant. These days it's sending more than messages. The ship has been sent to ascertain the fate of 2 starships sent to the far side of the galaxy. However, the ship fell prey to the Eidolon, a mysterious race of energy beings who take humanoids as host. The captain and the crew narrowly averted being taken over, but were delayed in reaching the wormhole. Now they must fend off the Eidolon while the search for their last chance starts from the Pico system in the Beta Quadrant.
Oops, I overshot. Hang on. I'll be back in a second. It did the thing where it auto all stops you when you get the communication, and then I told it to go, and then it didn't stop again where it should.
I've noted that oftentimes activating quantum slipstream will disengage autopilot.
It does that, yes. That's why if you're trying to do Tour of the Galaxy, you got to be on that.
One of the most interesting discussions I've had on the forum about Tour of the Galaxy is how useful the subspace fold ability is for Tour of the Galaxy. Apparently, a lot of people feel that having a shorter recharge for quantum slipstream is more important. And note, shorter recharge, not longer duration, because of the fact that long duration quantum slipstream just makes you go way too far.
All right, I'm here.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yes, I would like to continue the story. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I was joking with Admiral Aaron earlier, where Duncan Bot got upgraded to having legs. Lieutenant Tardigrade made them for me.
Oh.
They are very... he tried really hard, but he has a limited grasp of mechanical engineering.
And bipedal motion.
Yeah, he doesn't quite understand how it works. He has theories.
So did he give you the legs off of one of those like giant mecha suits instead of like normal human legs?
Yeah, I gotta draw that.
He stole it from a Tholian EV suit.
Ooh.
All right, do we want to do the full recap, or do we want to just...
Sure, why not? The people watching may or may not have seen the original.
Unless they were watching Galacticus stream earlier.
All right.
Last time on Shadow of Midas. Go for it, Dragoon.
The ship was tasked by Admiral Richard Harkins, commander of the Midas Array, to investigate the disappearance of 2 starships, the Agamemnon and the Persephone, which had been exploring a new, distant region of space through an artificial wormhole created by the Array.
Okay, I just want to stop you.
1 star.
Yeah, I'm just going to stop you right here. I see what you're doing with the triggers, and holy crap, you madman.
No, I did this in part 2 as well.
Oh, man.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, holy crap. Yeah, because I just kind of went from one to the other, and then I didn't do the recap, and wow, I mean, good job.
The ship traveled through the wormhole and emerged on the other side of the galaxy, almost 73,000 light years from the Alpha Quadrant. On the far side of the wormhole, the ship discovered a dying world. With the help of a street urchin named Kamala seeking escape from the planet, the away team found the remains of the Persephone. The crew discovered that the Persephone had been shot down by her escort, the Agamemnon, which had encountered and succumbed to a hostile race of energy beings known as the Eidolon. The ship raced to return to the wormhole, but was forced out of warp by an Eidolon array. Quickly, the crew of the ship succumbed to the Eidolon's influence, including the captain. The few remaining unaffected crewmen managed to free the captain, but not before the Eidolon had stolen the data necessary to locate the wormhole home. The captain led a team to free the rest of the crew, then took a runabout over to shut down the Eidolon array. Aboard the array, they discovered a group of survivors from the Agamemnon who had been resistant to the Eidolon, including Captain Kemen. Unfortunately, Kamala was captured and taken by the Eidolon. The team overloaded the array's power systems, resulting in the eventual destruction of the array and the ship's escape. Following their previous course, the ship arrived at the wormhole to find the Eidolon already attempting to send a ship through. The ship stopped the Eidolon, but lost their chance to get through before the wormhole closed. The ship is now trapped with the Eidolon near and no way home. So I will say a lot of this trigger work is from part 2. So I only had to update the parts that came after the parts that.
But
part
you
2.
still built it in part 2.
I've never seen anybody trigger map things around to display the recap. I've never seen it. It's brilliant.
That's why Cryptic should hire you to make missions for them. They will be the best missions ever.
I can tell you the key is good labeling. So you have multiple maps kind of laid on top of each other, but everything is labeled like array and wormhole and Midas, and then you just go through and just set the triggers for all of them.
I did that at the end of Apex, but as sort of the grand thing of building sort of multiple maps, laying them on top of each other, properly labeled in case I need to go back and do stuff. But I did that once and at the end.
Well, it reminds me of one criticism people have made with Bethesda games. It's like, well, Bethesda games have so many bugs. And then I read the descriptions that people make of the arcane logic that Bethesda Quest scripts have, and I'm like, why do these games not have more bugs?
Well, the only problem with hiring Greendragoon is that you will have to threaten to shut down the game to get him to complete this.
Oh, yes. That's
For the record, there is one mission I did in a month. In fact, it was actually for a contest, so there was a deadline involved.
Yeah, actually, with what I did at during downtime, I've actually got my theoretical time to completion for a complete mission to a week, for something I make. So, I mean, it just takes a little bit of
pretty quick like that.
It's kind of an insane time crunch, but I've done actually a mission in a week.
Well, like one of my missions.
your crazy map and alternate dialogue.
Yeah,
missions.
Because I can basically do one of those maps in a day with optional dialogue, and then I can structure the entire thing in a day too. So with going through a proper 5 to 6 map build, that's now down to a week for the actual construction, and then to do it properly, probably 2 weeks for also testing and polishing. So, anyway, though, we can proceed.
Let us continue with the story.
Okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's gone, sir.
What about the next one?
Midas Ray has no way of knowing what happened to us. Even if they choose to risk opening the wormhole again, without the wormhole prediction algorithms, we have no way of knowing where the next wormhole will open.
Now is not the time to panic. We need options.
We can't stay here. The Eidolon know where we are. I have no doubt the Agamemnon is already reporting our position to the other Eidolon ships.
A possibility, but we need a course of action.
Sir, I apologize for the interruption, but we've received a signal.
From where?
From the wormhole, sir. It arrived just before the wormhole closed.
On screen.
Guess I'll do it.
Fleet
Oh, go ahead.
Fleet Admiral, I hope you hear this. Starfleet fears the worst, that whatever happened to the Persephone and the Agamemnon has befallen you. I hold out hope that you're simply delayed. I've been granted permission to attempt to open the wormhole one last time. If you don't make it through then, I've been ordered to shut down the wormhole project, permanently pending further review. I don't have to tell you that if you can't find your way back to us, Starfleet will have no choice but to declare your ship missing, presumably destroyed. If by some miracle you receive this, come home to us. Hawking out.
I just hope the Admiral doesn't send yet another ship.
It may do little good. Right now, we're likely to end up like the Agamemnon with a Persephone.
But what if it's the North Star?
That's
Then
where.
Then we're really done.
Then we're really hosed. Recommendations.
Sir, without the wormhole prediction algorithms taken from the Agamemnon, we can't predict where the wormhole's final location.
We've been trying to reconstruct the data you've deleted. The island controlling you deleted. But they were very thorough. Thorough? Yeah. There we go. If we're going to get back to the data, we need to recover it from the Eidolon.
The data was transferred to the Agamemnon before being erased.
Recovering anything from the Agamemnon will be a challenge. In each of our encounters, Agamemnon has been heavily defended. It is safe to assume that they intend to use her as a Trojan horse to get to the Alpha Quadrant.
Very well. Track the last known course of the Agamemnon and lay in a course.
Understood, sir. Course laid in.
Bring the engines online. Except
Warp
not.
drive is offline, running a diagnostic now.
What happened?
There was an imbalance in the intermix chamber. The injectors have taken a lot of damage, and we haven't had time to repair them properly. The computer shut down the core to prevent further damage.
How long
I just realized something. Suliban ships actually do have those things. Fleet Admiral, we have incoming signatures. More Eidolon ships are on an intercept course.
Shields up. Ready weapons.
Time for pew-pew. That's a big ship.
Not so big as their captain, I think.
That's going to be the fun part with the team of 4. Everything is going to scale up.
Well, that didn't last long.
Of course, there's also 4 of us.
This won't be the last of the... Oh, crap. Let's click the button. Hold on. That won't be the last of them, sir. I strongly recommend we leave it once.
Engineering, what's the status on the warp core?
We need time to repair the injectors. I might be able to give you enough power for a quick warp jump, but anything more and we risk permanent damage to the core.
Will that be enough?
Sir, we're not far from an ice field. I'm detecting trace amounts of ceruleum throughout the field. That should be enough to screen our presence.
I assume that also means we have no way of knowing what's awaiting us in there.
That's correct, sir. If there are Eidolon ships in there, we'll have no way of knowing until we're right on top of them.
We have no other options. Set a course.
Course laid in, sir. I've overridden the safeties and programmed the warp drive to execute a 2-second warp jump. Ready to engage on your orders.
Engage.
Should point out I wrote all of this dialogue over a couple of weeks, so a lot shorter than my usual time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought of something. I think I spent like half of my time doing a comp in New Year. Actually, instead of building the mission, I spent it working on making a perfect replica of Linnea rather than, actually building the mission. Seriously, it took me 2 days.
I was doing the Mirror Romulan challenge, and I think I probably spent most of my time trying to make a planet explode. My approach was really did not end up all that good. I basically maxed out the asset limit on explosions and placed them between the player and then despawn the planet.
Well, I mean, there is a rather simple transition we can do of intact planet, broken planet, because we actually do have broken planet assets.
Yeah.
Well, and, I stuck debris and stuff in its place, but
Hey, guess where we're not?
Okie dokie. Warp jump complete.
We're in the map that is built to destroy your frame rate, right? Right. Duncan?
Actually, it's built to not do that. Well, it's because of the type of fog effect used. It's not the standard nebula, which is overlaying transparency layers, which is what kills the frame rate. It's a different effect. So it's just a general fog, and it works really well. So, warp jump complete. I'm taking the core offline until we can effect proper repairs.
How long do you estimate?
I don't know yet. A couple of hours at least. We'll work as quickly as possible.
Anything on sensors?
As suspected, sensor range is greatly reduced. The good news is that it will also shield us from detection. I recommend that we move deeper into the field. The increased density will provide a better screen and give us time to make repairs.
Continue.
Going in deeper.
Love this.
How extreme is the combat on this map?
There isn't any.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Person.
So the fact that we're all in different instances won't matter.
So whoever takes Kemen is going to have a lot of dialogue.
So don't do a silly voice.
No, you can do a silly voice. I'm just be prepared to do a lot of it.
I'm just thinking if we got anything good for her.
Permission to enter the bridge.
Granted. How are you and your officers?
As good as we can be under these circumstances. Your doctors are just finishing up looking at them. You're on a tight ship, even if she looks like she's taken a beating. Better than we fared.
Is there anything we can do for you?
Thanks. Your crew brought me up to speed on what's happened to you since we came to the wormhole, but I was hoping to find out what your plan is. Are you going to after the Agamemnon?
We're considering it. From the moment our warp drive is offline and we've been forced to hide.
And it disappeared.
I think this is far enough. Levels of ceruleum are at peak concentration.
Who's got tactical?
I think Mark's
Oh, that was
tactical.
me.
I think
I hadn't triggered the objective yet. Sir, I'm picking up a faint reading 30 degrees to starboard. It looks like a magnetic shadow. It is definitely difficult to make out, but it's definitely something. It could be an enemy vessel.
Are shields and weapons functional?
Yes, sir. Only the warp drive is offline.
Lay in an intercept course.
And if worst comes to worst, we just throw tardigrades at him.
I like how naturally, for plot reasons, only one system is offline.
Captain, if I may ask, what happened on the Agamemnon?
Hate that.
This one is you, Mark.
Captain Kemen, if I may ask, what happened on the Agamemnon?
You were doing Captain Kim before.
Oh, them too. Oh, okay.
Unless you want somebody else to do it.
Well, at first it was all fairly routine. Soon after our arrival, Elaine and I set a course to do a survey of the surrounding systems. It was in system R1-337 that we picked up that weird Thoron radiation from the planet. Elaine insisted on taking the Persephone closer to investigate the probes. We didn't even realize something was wrong until several of the crew stormed the bridge, calling us blasted deviants. We tried to fight back, but were quickly overrun. They dragged me off the bridge just as they opened fire on the Persephone. Elaine, I was powerless to stop it.
What happened next?
They locked those of us who hadn't been affected in the brig. We were able to escape. We made for the computer core and pulled the coordinates of the next wormhole location. Matthews took a runabout and made for the wormhole to warn Starfleet. The rest of us died to buy him time. I guess he didn't make it.
Or he got distracted by a tardigrade.
With the ship lost, we figured that we could at least prevent those body snatchers from getting back to the Alpha Quadrant. We detonated the computer core and destroyed the wormhole prediction algorithms.
That explains why they were so determined to obtain our copy of the prediction algorithms.
We tried to engage the self-destruct, but we were captured again before we could activate it. After that, I guess they thought we were too dangerous to keep on the Agamemnon. So they moved us to that array, and that's where you found us. I suppose we owe you and your crew our lives. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see idling cruiser.
It looks broken. It appears to be an idling cruiser. It's not powering up any systems. Weapons are offline and shields are down.
Scan the vessel.
Make science things happen.
Readings are coming in. I'm not detecting any life signs and no Thoron emissions. It would seem that the ship and all hands perished. I'm also reading several derelict vessels. A skirmish took place here, but it is unclear who won.
Any sign of how long ago this happened?
The carbon scoring would suggest the battle took place several weeks to a month ago.
It seems we're not the first to use this ice field as a hiding place.
They might still be here. I'm detecting a faint ion trail.
Let's follow it and see where it takes us.
It's always kind of weird playing the mission while seeing the live stream on another screen and looking at the difference between my bridge officers and yours.
I just realized on this map that the voice I've been doing for the engineering officer isn't conventional, but hey, let's go with it.
Duncan, you can do whatever voice you want.
No, I'm going to keep it consistent with the engineering. We'll get creative on the next map.
That's odd. The ion trail ends here, but I'm not detecting. Wait. Picking up multiple weapons locks.
Shields up. Where are they?
All around us. I'm detecting multiple enemy contacts.
How did the sensors miss them?
They were hiding unpowered in the surrounding debris. They waited until the last minute to power up their systems.
Fleet Admiral, the lead ship is hailing us.
Good.
Who wants Commander Selwyn?
I got to get to that dialogue because I apparently was in the wrong place.
Eidolon vessel. By order of Commander Selwyn of the Survivors of Regular Defense, power down your weapons or be destroyed. You have 20 seconds to comply.
We are not with the Eidolon. We entered this field to escape their detection.
Our scouts picked up a ship matching your energy signature caught in one of the Eidolon trap arrays. No one survives Eidolon once captured.
No one survives the Eidolon.
We were caught by this array. We almost felt them. However, we were able to develop defenses against the Eidolon and destroyed the array to escape.
There's a pause.
There's a pause. Go for it.
There's a pause while the captain speaks to someone off screen. How can we trust what you say? Tell us your story.
I hold up Lieutenant Tardigrade and he regales the tale.
This is all very difficult to believe, Captain.
From a tardigrade.
No one has successfully mounted a defense against Eidolon. Stand by. I must confer with my superiors.
One thing that keeps popping into my head here is how would the Eidolon deal with the FGC-47 life forms?
Which ones are the FGC-47 life forms?
They're those. Well, FGC-47 is a nebula that has a sentient species made out of balls of energy.
They could not interact with them.
Also, the FGC-47 life forms have the ability to suck the bioelectric field out of people and either render them unconscious or dead. And this also works in technology. And I'm wondering if they could just like suck the life out of the Eidolon.
It does sound like they'd be natural enemies.
Possibly.
Predator prey, even.
Ghost War.
I think in my head I figured that the Eidolon can only take over humanoid species. So, like for instance, tardigrades would be immune.
Yes.
Yeah, the FGC-47 life forms have this ability to like. It's like their like energy form is like a living hologram, so they can like reshape their energy form to imitate humanoids.
Okay.
But you know,
Dragoon. if we ever get the Foundry back, and if we ever get a Lieutenant Tardigrade asset, can we give Lieutenant Tardigrade the command codes in a previous part? Because, I mean, it does kind of make sense. He is immune. I mean, it might turn out horribly wrong in other ways, but... All right, that's my headcanon.
All right.
What you do with your ship is your business, Duncan.
Okay.
wait, now we're shipping tardigrade with who?
Oh, God.
With the ship.
All right, onward,
Now-
I guess.
Now we wait.
Not that old yet.
I think the last one you did is you read, "I must confer with my superiors."
Yeah.
Yeah, I said now we wait and see.
Do you think they'll believe us?
Difficult to say.
The channel reopens. I have conferred with the Elder Council. They've agreed to hear your case. We will escort you to our outpost. Please follow my vessel.
Thank you, Captain. We will follow.
I just realized an aspect of this story that breaks if for any reason the player is not flying a Federation ship.
Yeah, but that was established like in part 1 that it was really just written for Federation. Because otherwise the interiors don't make any sense or anything like that.
It's still a 1-star violation, though.
I have certainly seen a few complaints that it doesn't support Romulans.
Well, I mean, this isn't actually a Romulan ship, even. It's a Suliban's ship, but whatever.
Yeah, so I'm at the dialogue.
Yep.
Welcome to the Survivors Outpost, the last home of those who escaped Eidolon. We are sending the coordinates for teleportation to the city. A representative will meet you on arrival.
Sir, are we sure we can trust them? We know nothing about them.
We don't have many allies, and this could prove advantageous.
Pete Admiral, I know that this is your ship, and I respect your command. I would like to accompany you down to the outpost. I'd like to assist in any way I can in the recovery of the Agamemnon.
Very well.
Yes, I was making a conscious effort to pronounce all of the words the way they're supposed to be spelled.
We have the coordinates and transporter room standing by.
Energize.
I wonder whose bridge officer will show up.
Whoever the Foundry wills.
I mean, that assumes we even show up in the same instance.
At the mercy of the Foundry gods.
Yeah. Well, it depends on.
Of course, the pattern didn't hold exactly in a couple of times the last time we were playing.
Yeah. And we've also had some odd occurrences with some people ending up in each other's instance, but not all. So it's, again, one of those things where it'll just do what it does, and we'll just deal with it.
I think it's more randomness than anything else. I still think that a part of the issue is
we will never figure this out.
I see people.
We're here.
So I will say Captain Kemen has a lot of dialogue in this mission. If we guys want to trade off on him, so whoever's reading him doesn't get too tired.
Oh, it's Jigoro's bridge officer.
Yay!
Wow, this is quite the sight. An entire city built on an asteroid. Even in my time in Starfleet, I haven't seen anything like it.
Indeed.
It is an impressive achievement. Sir, be aware that the gravity may be different than you're used to. Despite the planet-like surroundings, this is only an asteroid and lacks the pull of a full-size planet.
It's not my first low-gravity walk.
I believe the representative is waiting for us.
Very well.
Actually, that low-gravity thing is actually very appropriate for Romulan Republic characters, because one of the Romulan story missions has you go loot that asteroid base built in the remains of Remus.
Okay, since we have Greendragoon here, even though we've shown this map off on Roundtable before, but tell us what went into making this map.
A lot.
Because,
those are colony buildings stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
I used the same trick for building city walls on the Ocampa New Year map.
And
Because
It's super annoying to work with because you can't see them.
well, it's a math trick. See, because you place one of them, you get it exactly where you want it. Then you work out the distance you need to increase to place one directly on top of it, and then you just increment the altitude.
yep, it's still getting everything lined up though. And notice too that there's multiple layers back there. I mean, there's perspective.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And then you got
And I
the
love it.
spires
And I
in the
love it
back.
because I mean this map, it goes out of focus. I don't know that they all do that.
It's the Andoria backdrop, and that is it works with the planet. You've got the base map with the shield effect coming over it.
Oh yeah, that shield effect is baked into the map because this is actually the same one from the story mission I was talking about earlier. Is that because that shield effect we can't place it? It's only baked into this one map that also has low gravity baked in.
And then look down. Down in the water.
And things in the water.
You've got the rope bridges, and they're working really well. And then you've got detail and the moon rocks, the extra large ones. And,
also, he used the purple water from New Romulus.
Because you got the feature we'll be going to at the and that waterfall in the back too for just to emphasize the scale of this map and how well it's put together. Well, we go down there later.
Yeah. The absolute best thing is that you go all the way down there. I mean, you really milk the heck out of this map.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and also in case Kale's watching, we've got the NPCs over here, and these are the ones that we want the parts for. Yeah, the species here.
Oh,
I want this as a bridge officer. I want buff.
So yeah, I think it's like a mixture of some alien, and then I was able to get the trill spots in, and
we need the parts.
Could recreate in the.
One of the host patterns is actually available, but only one of them, and it only goes in the face.
Okay, so colony representative. Okay. You are Fleet Admiral Person of the Star Vessel Your Ship, yes? We welcome the survivors, to the Survivors Outpost.
Thank you, Envoy. Your city is impressive.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. It was meant as our species' crowning achievement, our first off-world colony. Little did we know that it would be our last refuge. When the Eidolon invaded Tristana, those that escaped came here. As the other woods fell, we invited the survivors to join us here.
Even with a colony of this size, you must find it difficult to take in so many.
Indeed. While we have the food and water recycling systems necessary to establish such a colony, our resources have been pushed to the brink. There is also the fact that we have only a finite amount of space, which is quickly running out. Still, we try and take in the few that we can.
We should meet with your elder council.
Of course, they are waiting for you in the government complex. If you would follow me. Notice I stumbled on that one.
But not the repeated Agamemnon and Persephone?
No.
Or Zeph Films cannot say either.
Agamemnon.
I noticed you made a refugee that looks like a yellow Andorian with Vulcan ears.
Yeah, I was trying to channel my inner Duncan and just make a bunch of...
It kind of reminds me of...
How did you make a character... Oh, wait, that must be some sort of like a default stock NPC because it has glowing white trill spots down the sides and a cat tail.
That's one of the broken NPCs from way back. That now has...
using the import-export thing.
Yeah. That broke the Foundry.
Caused crashes.
the thing that broke the Foundry, but then gave certain people like you and Johnny Snowball godlike abilities with the character creator.
Yeah, and I felt the
occasionally
using it to its full effect. It's on again and off again. It hasn't done it in recent.
But that one NPC you created, the sort of light-skinned Andoran, reminds me of Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, somebody ran ahead.
You went over there?
Individuals entering the government building must submit to a security scan.
Wait! I want to be scanned.
So yeah, somebody ran ahead and took out the
Oops.
next waypoint.
Sorry.
You can scan me anytime, Raya. Oh, yeah.
And just as I call in Lieutenant Tardigrade, cover his ears. Yeah, ears.
All right, Duncan, I think you have her.
Okay. My apologies. The city enforcers are charged with the protection of our elders and those in the city. They take their role very seriously. The security scan is part of this.
What kind of scan?
It simply scans for security threats. Assuming you have nothing to hide, you have no reason to worry.
Coming out, Fleet Admiral, you don't get squeamish from scans, do you? Yeah, whatever. I
Very
have like
well.
1,000 weapons hidden in my uniform.
Let's get this over with.
Me first.
Scanning. Scan complete. Negative results. No threats detected.
The scanners must stink.
They're just not scanning for weapons.
My whole being is a threat.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
they left
They're
Goroid.
probably scanning for Eidolon. They're not actually scanning for, like, all of my spare shotgun ammunition.
Yeah, no, weapons are fine. We
Yeah,
just
that
don't
was
want
not-
Eidolon.
That wasn't too bad. Captain Cayman, would you like to go next?
Come, Captain. We need to meet with the Elder Council.
I'm saying it only tickles a little.
Mark, you got this one?
Oh, just give me a moment. I'm not a fan of scans either.
Perhaps you should check on your friend.
I'll return shortly.
I have to say, those Romulan shoulder things look very different when you make the two colors in the buttons the same. What's going on?
What's happening? Scan
Scott.
complete. Results positive. He's an Eidolon.
What? I'm not one of those
Are you
blasted
sure?
pogs stealing Eidolon. Those monsters took my ship and crew.
Remain calm, Captain. Surrender, Eidolon. There's nowhere for you to go.
Stay away from me!
Captain, wait.
Captain. He bolted.
I
We have
throw
to
Lu-
chase him down, don't we?
I
He
throw
bolted.
Lieutenant Tardigrade at him, and he just
It
goes
didn't
for a
work.
piggyback ride.
Okay, so one thing I noted.
Yep.
We lost him, sir.
I don't understand, sir. We ran a complete medical scan on all of the Agamemnon survivors, including Captain Kemen.
Could the Eidolon have found a way to mask their presence from us?
Regardless, we have to find the survivors before this. We have to find him before the city enforcers do. There's no telling what they might do to the captain's body trying to eradicate the Eidolon inside.
We need to find him first.
I recommend that we contact the ship and have them beam down a security team. We'll be able to fan out and cover more ground.
Very well.
One thought occurs to me is that if their scanning technology is not as good as they think and actually relies on an indirect method of identification, that it's possible that it actually detects former presence of Eidolon and not just current
Oh, the
presence.
Well,
Later in the
stay
mission.
tuned.
Later, yeah,
We'll find
stay
out.
tuned. I mean, there is still a mission
Hey.
in progress. So
I was going to point out that the player captain was taken over by an Eidolon, and they don't set off the scan.
So-
Good point.
okay. So moving on. This is this is your ship. Is everything all right?
Captain, that's supposed to be the other guy. Captain
yeah.
Kemen fled on foot. We need a security team to assist in the search.
Captain
Oh, never
Kemen,
mind.
sir. What happened?
He set off a scanner the survivors used to detect Eidolon. We need to find him before they do.
Okie dokie, sir. We have a team standing by, beaming them down now.
I like him. He says okie dokie. Thank you. Away team out.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
We're here.
Hello, other person.
Greetings. I hear you need some backup.
Corin, isn't your team supposed to be off duty? Your team is down a man.
with a bunch of the security department recovering from being taken over by aliens and then almost dying, we've been taking extra shifts. Needless to say, we're glad to have you back again.
Of course. It's good to have you and your team.
Mark.
I see 2 possible routes out of the plaza that Captain Kemen could have fled. Corin, take your team and head through the north gate. Fleet Admiral, I recommend we investigate the west gate.
Aye, sir. Well, if he went north, we'll find him.
Move out.
I love how you named all of the ensigns. Yes, I was
well,
actually.
You kind of developed that team quite a bit, as I recall.
Yeah, you got to talk to him a lot in part 2.
Yeah, find a person.
I think wasn't Sir Boulevard kind of in that with you?
So he expanded a bunch of backstory for Ensign Marina. So I think according to him, and I've kind of adopted this as well, she's basically the daughter of the Cation royal family.
And actually,
Galactrix has a question. Says, when you say he's a man down, is that because you can't tell whether or not he died in the previous part or survived?
Dern is either killed or injured up for a couple of weeks. So they're still down a man either way. That's a problem with trying to work in choices like that, is that you're essentially throwing away a character when you do that, because you can never tell if they're dead or just off somewhere else.
Also, attempting a story fork like that can make things awkward.
Even a small one.
Refugee.
Talk to the refugee.
What? Who are you? What do you want?
I love her eyes. Black sclera with a bright, almost lime green, I think, irises.
I think they're just
lime
silver,
green or pale blue. I don't know.
Okay.
Did a man dressed in clothes similar to ours pass this way?
No, he was not dressed anything even remotely like me.
Yes, he passed this way. He was in quite a hurry.
Which way did he go?
Down the ramp towards the lower levels.
Thank you.
I think I might save her as a future potential captain.
That
I kind of like the design I made for her.
is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Galactrix and Bazak just finished playing part 1 and part 2. So that choice is fresh in their minds.
And make sure you upload those to YouTube just so we have extra copies of part 1 and 2.
So it's always
which... entertaining
seeing other people play it, because it just feels a little bit more. You gather more details when you see people play it differently. Let's put it that way.
You guys look up, you can see just how deep in the city we are
which
now.
Of those choices?
Yeah, I was looking up.
I know enough about this map due to having messed with it in the Foundry repeatedly that I know that we're like halfway down to the ground level. Who's doing this guy?
Fleet Admiral. How did he get past us? He should have been caught between us.
I'm unsure. We didn't see any other paths on our way down here.
Eidolon have superpowers, don't they?
Can't be too far, Meow. Sir, may I have Meow recommendations? We should fan out Meow and search the nearby area. Meow have found a place to hide Meow.
I am now sorry that we didn't bring in Zero to just do her one line. Oh, you found the...
I found the hatch.
Down hatch.
Down the hatch with it.
Now we have the Kim and Nell.
Splish.
I've been wrongfully accused.
We're in the sewers.
Blasted gate. It won't budging. Which
Captain
language does he speak?
I don't know, but that's a brilliant typo. It just sounds so great. Captain Kevin, stand down.
Oh, wait. Too many buttons. Lead Admiral, I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not one of those idling.
I believe you, Captain.
Sir, we can't let the survivors take the captain. There's no way of telling what they might do to him.
Strongly recommend we place him in a holding cell, sir.
I'm sorry, Captain. It's necessary until we get this sorted out.
I can't run from this. Very well, I put my fate in your hands.
We've located Captain Kemen. Lock onto his signal and beam him to the brig.
Aye, Fleet Admiral. We've locked onto him. Transporting now. I was almost going to do the engineering officer as a vampire. I'm like, no.
Yes, Fleet Admiral.
Yes, Fleet Admiral. We will make him a very safe place.
And then we will suck his blood.
That would be really weird, given the fact that on my screen I see a person who's basically an Orion Romulan hybrid talking.
Okay, I totally got dibs on the next idling. Okay, I got dibs. So anyway,
okay, it's coming up on the next.
I see you have captured the idling. Why did you transport him to your ship?
If it is one of our officers, he is our responsibility to deal with.
Very well. I suppose we must accept your answer for now. I must request your presence back on the street. Our chief elder wishes to speak with you.
We will be up shortly.
Yeah, well, one thing that has occurred to me while playing Star Trek Online after watching YouTube videos about the arcane insanity that some Bethesda games have for quest structures, that I think some of the people kind of use basically the same fundamental principles with Star Trek Online.
And I just want to say before we move on, this gate that we were just at is overlooking the same area, so you can actually see this gate from the where we beamed in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you can see the starting
that
area
waterfall looked
out
familiar
the gate too.
Because it's the same purple waterfall for the New Romulus water set.
So good.
Which is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Sarah.
So you, I wanted this one.
Okay.
So you are the star sailors that have caused quite the commotion among my people. Fascinating. I am Onda, chief elder of my people. She pauses and looks more closely at you. So much hope and optimism in your eyes. You truly are from the world that hasn't been ravaged by the Eidolon.
No, Elder. We come from the other side of the galaxy.
There is more to it, though. She stares intently to your eyes. It's a little uncomfortable. I did not believe it when Commander Salwin told me. You really have been consumed by the Eidolon, but not anymore. I had not thought it possible. Tell me, how did you come back? The Eidolon do not give up their hosts willingly.
Our doctor brought us to the brink of death. The Eidolon fled.
And you say you have a way to shield your vessels?
One which we might be willing to share for your assistance.
I see. What is it you seek from us?
Information. The Eidolon took one of our vessels and the data we need to return home.
And you seek to know where they have taken it. I see. Very well. We will help you as best we can. Give me time to speak with my commanders. They are responsible for watching Eidolon movements. We will contact you once we have something.
Very well. We will return to our ship.
And Fleet Admiral, I recommend you be wary of anything Eidolon tells you. They are not to be trusted.
I will take it under advisement. Before I beam up, I'm going to do something real quick.
Ship 2 person of command. Yes, I haven't forgotten your name. We served together for years. Yes. We have Captain Cayman safely in the brig. Are you ready to return to the ship?
Heck yes.
Let's blow this foundry map.
And I want to point out to Galactic that is totally a Swiss accent and not French. It's a bad Swiss accent, but still.
I was thinking like the Nuremberg side of Germany.
It's just bad any way you slice it.
Welcome back, Fleet Admiral. Per your orders, Captain Cayman is being held in the brig.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
We should proceed to the security office. It's down the hall and through the doors to the right.
I know how to get around my own ship. Concern it.
This doesn't look like my ship.
The player ship interior is like Hogwarts. It constantly changes.
Depending on who's making the map.
That's what we got holographic interiors for. Instant
where are we going?
Variety. I'm just going, Mark's just going off.
This is a pretty awesome map. It's worth exploring.
Let's
I don't actually know this map layout because it's not actually my ship's layout. So
yep.
I missed the doors.
Okay, so in here, Ensign Marana, optional dialogue. You know what we got to do.
I'm telling you, you should consider it.
I don't know, Meow. I've enjoyed my Meow time working with this team. It would not be the same without all of you, Meow.
I'll admit, Marina, you're a fine officer. You pulled my rear out of more fires than I care to remember. But part of being a good squad leader is making sure that you put the needs of your teammates first. Look, when this whole mess is over, I'm going to put in a recommendation that you be promoted. And if you're smart, and I already know you are, you'll let the Fleet Admiral know that you want to transfer to the command track.
I'm standing right here.
Yeah, but he knows that. She doesn't know that.
Wink. But if I leave the team, Meow, who will, as you like to say, Meow, pull your rear out of Meow fire? Besides, you're an experienced Meow officer. Why haven't you pursued command, Meow?
Look, some of us are at our best when we're in the thick of it, while others only reach their potential once they ascended to a higher elevation. I'm at my best right here, but you have so much more potential. Besides, it might get your mother off your back.
I really need to point out that your use of the backdrop on this map was ingenious, because I look out the window and see this same ringed gas giant that I saw from the planet's surface.
And in the space map.
I prefer to leave Meow out of it when it comes to Meow career decisions, but I will consider your advice, Meow, and thank you, Meow.
If I had it my way, you wouldn't have to call me that for much longer.
Yeah?
I hope
Why
I'm not.
Grid? Why?
I hope I'm not interrupting. Meow.
Not at all, Fleet Admiral. Thank you for waiting.
Fleet Admiral, Meow, I didn't notice. How long have you been standing there, Meow?
Not long.
Ah, of course, Meow. Lieutenant, Meow Admiral, if you'll excuse Meow.
Of course. Dismissed, Anderson.
His name is now Lieutenant Meow.
Only to his friends.
Yep. Obligatory shirtless scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was theoretically the optional check-in on Corin and this team in the armory. Is this a fake quest objective where it'll be randomly completed when you complete the actual quest objective?
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of overlaid reach markers that complete when you complete the map.
And I've never thought to do that.
You know me, I'm always trying to mess around with something.
Well, it's an informational box, because I've actually noted that some of the cryptic missions have those. Is that you'll have this thing popping up that gives you a bit of information about the map as a quest objective, even though it's not really a quest objective.
It's about as close as we can come to doing that.
Yeah. So, do we want to go through here? Proceed?
I see more optional dialogue.
So, a cool fact: we've been in this room before. This is
it looks
the same.
familiar, yes.
Yeah, this is a cleaned version of the astrometric slab that where you got taken over by Eidolon and deleted all that wormhole data.
So much wormhole data.
I actually recreated it.
I see they stole the computer memory technology from the Asgard. Oh, well.
And just for Baz. I'm shooting her, but it does nothing.
She's wearing the goggles.
The Tommy gun. It does nothing.
Okie dokie.
Talking to T-Lock. Perhaps if we retry a recursive algorithm, we might be able to piece together the data based on residual data.
Ensign's report.
Fleet Admiral, we were just attempting to... Ensign Helma interjects.
Greendragoon.
You shot me!
Yeah, just now.
I was under the influence of an alien entity.
But you shot me!
I apologize. I shouldn't have shot you.
See, was that so hard? All they wanted was an apology.
As I was saying, we have been attempting to reconstruct wormhole prediction data that you deleted while under the influence. I was just about to suggest that we use a recursive algorithm to...
It won't work. Starfleet computer systems are designed to completely wipe a file when issued by command-level authorization. The system will literally write null data to prevent someone from attempting to recover it like we are. By the way, people do that in real life, too.
All that? Any backups?
We already tried, sir. Unfortunately, in cases where the captain is giving the order, the computer is exceedingly thorough. I apologize, sir. It would appear we are at an impasse. We will, of course, keep trying, but I estimate there is a 0.0067% chance that we will not recover any useful data.
One thing that occurs to me is that this sounds like it's just the main computer core. Well, you know.
Okay. Very, very well. Then we'll have to pursue other options.
See, if the plot needed it, there would be a secondary core with the data in it. Well, but the plot needs there not to be.
I was actually thinking of the transmission array that was used to beam the data off the ship.
Well, ever since a certain incident involving a rogue AI and some data it couldn't get, they are very thorough about deleting data. That's just good.
You had a Discovery reference and you didn't even know it.
Yeah. Has he said anything since being beamed aboard?
Very little, sir.
No, you go for it.
Very little, sir. He says that he'll only speak to the Fleet Admiral.
I thought that all of the Agamemnon went through medical scans.
I performed the examination myself, Fleet Admiral. I found no evidence of Eidolon control. Even now, his brain scans are within reasonable tolerances.
Is it possible that the survivor scanners were in error?
Unknown, sir. We didn't have time to review the device in detail.
Yeah, like I said before, we don't actually know what they were scanning for.
Hey, guys, come here real quick.
I like what you did with the floor.
There's a door that opens.
Magic door.
No, this is where you came in part 2.
The Jeffries tubes.
No.
The infernal Jeffries tubes that I could not get my bridge officers to go down.
You mentioned earlier that most of the maps you used for this were copies of things from the previous mission.
Yeah, so the original map in part 2 was built on a stock map. I think it was the Saratoga from the state of Q.
Mhm.
But this is a custom recreation. That's all cleaned up. Shall we?
Okay, let's talk to the dude.
Fleet Admiral, this is a mistake. I don't know what the scanner was, but it's wrong. I'm not an Eidolon.
I believe you, but we have to be sure.
I don't know how I can prove it to you.
What are our options?
Have an FTC-47 life form attempt to eat his bioelectric aura.
Got one of those on hand?
No. Oh, well.
Sir, I think the only way to be sure is to attempt to remove the Eidolon out of Captain Kemnan, similar to how we did with our own crew.
And if he's not an Eidolon?
Then the result would be the same. Without a living host or an active Thoron field, the Eidolon would die.
It seems we don't have a choice.
I don't like the idea of dying, even if it's temporary, but we can't.
Captain, are you all right?
Remember, I got dibs. But, Fleet Admiral, the situation is not as it appears, Blair.
Eidolon, security, draw your weapons.
We are not enemies. My name is Rymus. I am not attempting to possess this host, but protect him, Blair.
Why should I believe you?
You have every reason to be mistrustful. My kind has stolen those like you for decades to feed our endless war. Few of us even remember how it began or what it used to be like, Blair. But a few of us do. And in the last few years, we have grown into a rebellion, Blair.
Let's see. What are you
I
doing
want to do
to
the
Captain?
first one.
First one? Okay. How you used to be? Question
I
mark.
did the second one. Just a sec. I'll just go back through it.
Long ago, we would coexist with our host, sharing knowledge and living in communion. Merging was a blessing, not the forced servitude it is now. Blah.
This all changed when an enemy invaded our space from the outside the galaxy. Unlike any we'd faced, they were numerous, and weapons only slowed them down. They gave us hugs. We did not know what to do. Their 8 legs, they were all over us.
For the record,
Initially-
the enemy was not tardigrades.
Blair,
Tardigrades are no one's enemy.
no. I want to just give ghost hugs. Initially, we and our host fought willingly, sacrificing ourselves to fight this unstoppable foe and protect our homes. But as our host died, we lived. So we took new hosts and continued the fight, Blair. Soon, most of our hosts were dead, and still the enemy came, Blair. It was very inconvenient. We began taking hosts from beyond our world. Many felt this was necessary to protect the quadrant, Blair, and that the taking of other races was justified to protect the greater good. As the years continued, everything of who we are was shaped around the endless war. We became soldiers, and everything that did not support the war effort was labeled deviant, Blair. Just a second.
You okay?
Catch your breath.
Yeah. I'm getting better. Okay. But a few of us remembered, Blair. We saw ourselves for the monsters we had become, and we began to work against the regents in secret, Blair. We could erase records of fleeing deviant vessels, cast suspicion away from places of refuge, such as the one in the ice field, Blair.
But why take Captain Kemen?
I don't know, Blair. The arrival of your vessels caused a major shift in the strategy of the regents. They saw you as a new source of hosts and focused all of their efforts on securing a route through the wormhole.
One thing that occurs to me in this is to wonder where the people who they fought that war against are now.
Those of us who opposed the regents couldn't allow our evil to pass into a new region of the galaxy, Blair. We had to do something, Blair. A few of us joined the initial attack on the Agamemnon. My conspirators and I quickly realized that Captain Cayman was the key to impeding the Gad region's plans. I found and inhabited the captain so that none of my brethren could take him, Blair. When the time is right, one of my comrades, arranged for the captain and his officers to escape as we had hoped, Blair. We had made straight for the computer core and destroyed the wormhole data. Unfortunately, we didn't foresee your vessel coming through and the new source of wormhole data becoming available, Blair.
How do we move forward from here?
I have no wish to die. I am the knight. And if you proceed with your plan, it will be my end. This is of no benefit to you. I can give you the information that can help you in acquiring the wormhole data you seek, Blair.
Do you know where the Agamemnon is?
Not precisely. There are a few bases in the area to which they have fled after their encounter with you, Blair. Unfortunately, I do not have... I've been inside Cayman's body for some time, and I do not know what has transpired since then. But I can help you getting into one of the bases, Blair. I have access codes that would allow you to sneak into an Eidolon base undetected, like the night. You may be able to retrieve your wormhole data without my people realizing you are there, Blair.
And what do you ask in return?
Allow me to live. I am the living dead. As long as there is a Thoron radiation present, I can survive outside of a host. I've seen how proficient you are at manipulating Thoron fields, Blair. You could construct a Thoron field to keep me alive. I will relinquish Kremen's body willingly after I've been given you the information.
Is this possible?
I believe
No,
so.
Duncan was doing that one.
Engineer Duncan.
Well, no, this is tactical.
I see an engineer.
I see tactical.
I believe so.
Oh,
We'll need to construct a
Oh,
device
Because you actually have a...
I have a BOF, so it is my tactical officer. Okay.
Okay.
I believe so. We'll need to construct a device capable of both generating and containing a Thoron field. As long as it's functional, it will keep an Eidolon alive without a host.
Very well. Make the necessary arrangements.
Yes, sir. It'll take a little while for our teams to fabricate the device. We don't need to stay here.
We will return later. Yeah, I want to get as far away from this guy as I can.
Let me regale you about the winters in Transylvania.
Hey, more.
Bridge to captain.
Go ahead.
We're being hailed by the survivor's outpost. Elder Honra wishes to beam aboard and speak with you.
Very well. Have her beamed aboard. I'll meet her at the transporter room.
So many things.
You wouldn't believe what we do with wood carvings. It is quite entertaining.
Did you make effigies and then burn them?
No,
we make knickknacks to put on your mantelpiece. They're exquisite.
We sell at a very reasonable price.
Nice special price.
Right. Who is doing Elder Honra?
You.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here, you are making a poor old woman wait. I don't have as much time left to waste as you do.
I wasn't.
Honor lets out a chuckle. I am teasing you. It is a task of elders to keep the young ones on their toes. But tell me, how is your friend? Are you able to recover him from the Eidolon?
We are making preparations now, but the Eidolon has made some strange claims.
One containment device.
He claims to be a member of a resistance faction within the Eidolon, one that has been attempting to limit the hosts they collect.
He wants to exchange information for his life.
Unusual. In the years since my people encountered the Eidolon, we have captured a few, and two tried to infiltrate us. But this is the first I've heard of one begging for its life. Still, I urge caution. It may be trying to deceive you and escape, but ultimately I can not advise you on what you should do. But that is not why I have come.
What do you wish to discuss?
I've spoken with our star vessel commanders, and they have news. They have spotted a number of vessels moving towards the Varan Star. One of them had unusual signature. We believe this is your missing vessel.
Thank you. Without your help, we would not have been able to return to our quadrant.
Before you go, I would make a request of you. You must realize that our situation is desperate. While we remain hidden from the Eidolon for now, our days as a species remain numbered. On top of that, the survivors' outpost cannot sustain so many of us forever. I would request asylum in your part of the galaxy for some of our people.
Which do we choose?
Of course. We need bridge officers. We need to supply everyone's crews. So, of course.
We don't have enough ships to transport everyone, and many wish to stay and fight to retake our homes. We've chosen 1,000 volunteers to carry on our legacy from the Eidolon. Even if this outpost eventually falls to the Eidolon, it will not be our end. In exchange, when you find the wormhole, we will help cover your escape. I sense that everything will hinge on this last stand for you.
Very well. We'll signal you once we locate the wormhole back to the Alpha Quadrant.
Thank you. In difficult times, it is hard to show kindness. It is good to know that yours is a people that still do.
Thank you, Elder. Lieutenant, please return Elder Hanra to the outpost.
Aye, sir. Initiating transport now.
And it has been pointed out to me that she is, in fact, an ensign, not a lieutenant.
Well, one thing I noted is I don't remember ever seeing a Endorian with bright green eyes before, but it looks cool.
It does.
It's a stock character. I didn't custom that one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just having to check the screen to make
Yeah, it's you. It's you.
We should return to the security offices. They should be complete by now.
Continue. We need more count dialogue. Stat.
9 containment devices. 10
Spent so much time on the map, I
devices.
might as well get my mileage out of it. Having you run back and
I'm
forth.
Yeah, we're getting in our steps today.
Yes, that trait for making you run faster really does work, doesn't it? Welcome back, Fleet Admiral. I've been able to calibrate my tricorder to recognize entity's unique signature. I will be able to confirm that he has indeed left the captain. Kuman, have you completed your modifications to the device?
Almost. We just have a few adjustments to make. We should eject a Thoron field into the adjoining cell, allowing the entity to leave and enter its containment unit. Once the transfer is complete, we'll dial back the Thoron field into the unit interior and safely hold it there. It'd be like if you or I were trapped in an escape pod. Even if the door is unlocked, there's nowhere to go.
So, am I correct in believing that this guy's Xindi humanoid?
Yep. He's one of Corin's team. He was just a convenient engineering officer to bring in.
Cool.
Let's speak with Rimus before we begin.
Good. Let me tell you about the Transylvania summers. You have returned. I see my prison is nearly complete. Blah.
And you're okay with this?
Of course. Not. But you would not allow me to remain in the captain, and confinement is preferable to death. Blah.
Before we transfer you to the containment vessel, you promised to share your knowledge.
I will attempt to aid you as best I can. Blah.
We've learned that the Agamemnon may have been taken somewhere near the Varan Star.
It would seem the Regents are not taking any chances. Yes, we have been... we have a base in that system. You would know it as System R7... 8... 9. 8.
Slash
It's
emote
1.
slap.
Oh God, it's one of our most clearly guarded secrets, Blair. The base is actually located inside of the 6th planet in the system, a gas giant. 23 years ago, one of its moons fell into the atmosphere of the giant and began to break apart. Seeing an opportunity, we installed special gravity dampeners to hold the moon in the atmosphere and prevent it from being broken apart further.
Entering a gas giant will be risky.
It is, which serves as an excellent defense. You will need to exit warp at the precise set of coordinates. This will put you at the edge of the dampening field. A back door, if you will.
What kind of defenses should we expect?
Vampires. I mean, this approach to the moon is still watched. You will need to shut down the early warning satellites as you make your approach to the moon. Additionally, patrols will occasionally check on satellites, Blair. You will need to eliminate any before they can relay your presence to the base. Once inside, you should encounter the light resistance. They won't be expecting you. I will give your officers the coordinates to approach the base, as well as the coordinates to shut down the satellite, Blair.
The light resistance. Tastes great, less filling. How can we trust you?
You will have me hostage aboard your vessel, Blair. The destruction of your ship would be the end of my life, Blair. Ultimately, we must trust each other. I have no way of knowing you won't kill me once I am contained, Blair.
Very well.
Your people claim to value life for all species, Blair. Once I've left the captain, I will be at your mercy. I suppose this will be the ultimate test of how genuinely you hold that belief. That is all I have to say. I am ready, Blair.
Then we should proceed.
Oh, hey, I found Thalek.
So I realized,
gone.
Jorgen and Duncan, you both have already played this. Did you believe him?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I was pretty suspicious after the talking to with the elder, but it's like it's pretty self-consistent. So it's like you're cautious, but it's like okay, you can get the sense of trust.
Yeah, see, I'm in the kind of like going in the general direction of like, okay, so this is your box. I'm going to leave it inside this other box. And oh yeah, by the way, if you try to get out of the box will explode.
Wait, I gotta go to Twitter. Okay, you guys proceed. I've got to go to Twitter to get a certain picture.
We're ready, Fleet Admiral.
I transcribed the coordinate and codes for the Idleland base.
Thank you. Proceed with the transfer.
Thorin field generator activated. This field is contained in the holding cell.
Farewell, Fleet Admiral.
Farewell, Ramus.
So we're back to Mark.
What? What happened?
Just a moment, Captain. Doctor, has the Eidolon been transferred to the containment cell?
Scanning. Affirmative, Fleet Admiral. I'm detecting the presence of one Eidolon life form within the device.
Very well, crewmen. Hold it there.
Yes, sir. Dialing back the Thoron field. There. The Thoron radiation is now restricted to the containment unit. That thing isn't going anywhere.
Captain, are you all right?
I think so. Busted! I really did have one of those things inside me. It's all a little hazy.
Doctor, please do a full examination of the captain. Confirm there are no lingering effects.
Of course, Fleet Admiral.
I think that's Mark.
Yeah, Jack.
Oh. We have the information we need. We should get underway to the Eidolon base. I've sent the coordinates to the helm.
Agreed. Is the warp drive back online?
I assume this is me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, sir. The engineering team was able to effect repairs. Should hopefully hold until we can get the ship back to the starbase.
Bridge. Exit the ice fields and lay in a course for the coordinates provided to the helm.
Bridge here, somehow. Sir, these coordinates would put us directly inside a gas giant.
You heard me, Anson. Do it.
Okay.
That is correct. The Eidolon base is hidden within the gas giant.
Understood, sir. Laying in a course out of the ice field now. We'll go to warp once you have cleared.
We're on our way back to the bridge. End communication. See you again.
Okay. Sir, what do we want to do with the Eidolon Rimus?
What do we do with him? Do we? So we can take
We're
him back
not
to the
gonna-
Federation.
Well,
We can
I don't think we should take
flush him out on airlock, or we can take him with us to the Elon base and release him there.
I would put him inside a Pokeball and then put the Pokeball inside another Pokeball and then hide it inside a Volt Orb.
Did you bring a Pokeball with you?
I brought him with me because it's like he's fighting a war, but I mean, Eidolon base, maybe. Oh, let's go with that.
Let's take him to that.
I say the question
you
is a
have no
reflection
suggestion.
of how you feel about Eidolon at this point. Because
This guy seems all right. But
I mean,
don't think we
I
should take
don't
him back to the
trust him.
feds.
I don't trust him, but I don't feel like killing him.
I don't know.
I think the third solution presents that, we don't want to bring him with us, but we don't want to kill him.
I brought him with me, so I mean, we could do a different choice this time.
Okay, Mark, I think this is you.
Wait.
Take the third option.
Oh, oops! I clicked the wrong button. Dang it.
Are you sure, sir? The Eidolon has knowledge of our plans as well as the location of the survivors' outpost. He could divulge that to the rest of the Eidolon.
I'm sure I won't kill him or subject him to infinite imprisonment.
Duncan.
Okay.
Engineer.
I'm just seeing it out on the stream. Very well. I'll make the arrangements.
See, well, one thing that occurs to me here is that indefinite imprisonment doesn't necessarily mean locked in a tiny cell.
But I mean, you are sort of taking him outside of his home ecology, and he's not gonna be able to be a happy Eidolon.
Yeah, you'd always have to restrict him because.
Why do I care?
For an energy being, the size of the container wouldn't really matter, would it?
Who knows?
You just.
I mean, even as an energy
scale.
being stuck in the same place would probably be creating after a while.
Answering that question requires me to understand the social structure of these energy beings, which I don't.
You could send people to visit, blah. I could take them over and we could share stories about my homeland.
Oh, look, I found a turbo lift.
To the bridge!
Bridge! Bridge! Bridge! Bridge!
I'm in a turbolift. Why am I beaming?
Yeah, that's one thing I really wish they could have figured out how to fix for Foundry, because in the official story missions, they can do that, but this doesn't.
We've arrived at the coordinates. We're inside the gas giant orbiting R7898.
What is our status?
Fascinating. I'm detecting the gravimetric. I'm not detecting the gravimetric shear that you would expect this deep inside a gas giant. It would appear that the Elon have deployed gravitational dampers to prevent the moon from deteriorating further. Still, I wouldn't recommend venturing outside of the moon's debris tail.
Sir, I'm detecting a satellite directly ahead. We input the code Rimus gave us before the satellite sends an alert to the base.
Proceed.
I'm just thinking if Dragoon ever wanted to...
Well, what happens if we just, emit an inverse Thoron field instead? Or anti-Thoron field.
Okay, the code's worked. The array is going to be in standby mode. It would appear that Rimus was telling the truth.
Very good, but stay alert.
I'm detecting 2 more satellites along our path to the moon. We'll need to send the code to each of them to maintain our cover.
Proceed.
I was just going to say, if Dragoon wanted to write a part 4, or like as a short story or something like that, where you sort of return, or the Arimus comes back, what you could all do is one way or another have Lieutenant Tardigrade involved. Like if you space it, he went and got it, and then provided a host, or it did something kind of stupid to make sure like he came back if you wanted to write him, deal with Arimus again, because it's kind of hard if you don't.
Never mind.
I'm detecting the second satellite ahead. It's beginning to power its power-up sequence. We just send the code quickly.
Beep.
Satellite deactivated. Just one more to go.
Whee!
I'm wondering if this sequence we're doing is tripping a perimeter alarm. Sir, this is Island Patrol dead ahead. We need to take them out before they can alert the base to our presence.
Jam their communications.
I mean, assuming we actually know how their communications work.
Spacebar, all the things.
I only need another 140,000 Polaron damage for my endeavor. And yes, I am actually using Polaron weapons. These are the Delta Rep ones.
That's it, sir. All 3 satellites have been disabled. I've located a large rock behind which we can park the ship. Once there, we should take a runabout the rest of the way.
Very well. Move into position.
So, of all the maps in Part 3, this one is my favorite.
It looks pretty excellent.
Or at least all the space maps.
It's a lot of good backdrop work.
I've actually tinkered with this particular base map, and it is really, really weird looking when you actually see the whole thing all at once.
Yeah, you got to get the right backdrop to get the fog and stuff.
Because it's actually like a figure 8 shaped torus of debris around 2 moons that are orbiting a mutual center of gravity. Weird looking stuff.
You sure this is the same one you're thinking of?
Yeah,
No.
This is the Badlands map.
Oh, this is a different one. Never mind.
No, this is the
he's placed
Briar Patch.
He's placed the destroyed planet over that donut asteroid that held the base for the Briar Patch.
Ah, yes, of course. That makes sense. Okay.
We're in position, sir. Recommend we power down non-essential systems. It'll make the ship more difficult to detect.
Make it so.
Greetings, Fleet Admiral. Permission to enter the bridge.
Welcome back, Captain. How are you feeling?
Better. The holodoc gave me a full workup. He seems pretty confident there's no trace of the alien left. Did his information pan out? Did we find the Agamemnon?
What do the sensors say?
I'm detecting a faint Starfleet warp signature on the far side of the moon. It would seem they have the Agamemnon docked to the base.
Then we have a shot at getting her back. Fleet Admiral, I request permission for myself and my officers to accompany you on the mission.
Very well.
I've located a docking port on the near side of the moon. We can take a runabout over. It looks like it isn't used often.
Very well. Prep the runabout. We'll depart as soon as it's ready. We'll also need a good pilot.
Very well, sir. I'll make the arrangements. Shadow Bay reports that they're ready when you are.
So I accidentally clicked. Already.
Yay, it's fine. Anyway, one thought that occurred to me here is that this is one of those situations where there's always the possibility that your attempts to sneak around will be like, haha, there's a security alarm because you opened that door, and you're not supposed to open that door ever.
You know, the one thing I realized with us playing this mission, the loading times have been insanely short.
Yes.
Well,
because
see,
maybe
and we've all been in the instance for 3 maps in a row here.
I think that part of the thing with the loading times is
we're never going to figure this out.
You know, after tonight, it's not going to matter.
No, it's not.
No,
I got to finish the mission.
Just a few hours.
Okay, we've arrived. This docking port seems to be unguarded.
They don't seem to be expecting company.
That's Mark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know.
Right.
You can't tell.
Officer, so
Yeah.
with as well hidden as this base is, they may not see it as necessary. Still, this will work in our favor.
Away team to ship. Or away team to
still
Wabash, the runabout. We have the wormhole data. We'll need you to fly in and beam us out.
Fine, but if you get yourselves killed, I'm not coming back for your bodies.
Just be ready.
So, just a little behind the scenes. That is actually one of Sir Boulevard's characters. So he kind of went ham with Corin's team and the runabout Wabash, and so in his missions he wrote out that your ship hangs on to the Wabash, and then she ends up as a pilot.
Which you can see the runabout here.
Well, I mean, you know, if this was actually written with my ship in mind, I would have told her that she has to learn how to fly a Suliban cell ship now.
So, fun thing, we are inside a cave.
Oh, yeah. I remember when you were prototyping this on Roundtab.
Yes, we saw it.
I see a lot of other stuff besides cave, which I presume are walls and floors and stuff.
Well, I mean, that this is a closed interior. I had to fake the outside.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see more cave in a bit.
We've been fortunate so far. Let's hope it holds. Why don't you take point? My officers and I will follow up behind you, so we can shoot you in the back.
Very well. Give us a head start and then follow behind. Do not shoot me in the back. We don't know what we'll find in there. And it would be really hard to proceed in this mission with a hole in my back.
Of course, Fleet Admiral.
Continue.
It's just every time I hear him talking, I just like have this urge, like this guy's going to betray me. I just know it.
I should point out that Drogon and Duncan have played this mission. Mark has not.
No spoilers.
Well, I played it, but I also played it wrong.
Open door.
Right at the end.
Maybe.
Apparently, a lot of people are making that mistake because I had a few reports of people was like,
yeah,
I did a thing and it didn't show up.
Yeah, because there's the green text, which is what it tells you. Then there's the loading screen. That's, I think, the tricky part is that your brain just kind of wipes that info.
Sir, I'm detecting what appears to be a control room. I'm also detecting several life signs. That's Mark.
We'll need to move quickly and take them out before they can raise the alarm. You forgot to put in the engineering officer, tactical officer thing on all of them. You only did it on like a third of them. Oh, well.
Well, you know, crunch time, you got to leave some things.
Yeah.
As soon as I open the door, move in.
Boo, boo, boo.
Kill them all.
We're being stealthy.
Headshots are for people who don't use AoE weapons.
And I'm just spraying the room with bullets.
I'm unleashing all my Hugglebugs.
Nope, the Edelite will never see us coming. It's attack.
We have been totally subtle.
That's it, sir. The control room is ours. You didn't save any for us.
Sorry, Captain. We needed to take them out quickly and violently.
Fleet Admiral, this appears to be an access terminal to the primary data core. We should be able to find information we need here.
Excellent. We could find out where they're keeping my ship.
It's worth a look.
You know, this thing on the floor here, you took one of those big generator things and shoved it into the floor until only the top edge was visible, didn't you?
Yep.
And on the ceiling.
Yeah. So I see.
And did you built this after sunset, right?
Yes, this room is
lab?
Yeah, this room was built in with the buggy. You can't see anything.
Yeah,
well,
that is
one thing
impressive.
I feel the need to point out, though, is that these pipe things, are one of the best assets I've ever seen for placing things by math, because the fact that no matter which of the specific pipe assets you use, they just like automatically line up with each other with the pipes.
Mm-hmm. Using your tricorder, you're able to translate the interface. Log in.
All right, we got a lot of entries here. Do we want to search?
Or should we just go ahead and get to the end here?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't read any of these, so you know.
Well, let's do the
How
Agamemnon.
long are these?
They're just usually like a short entry about each.
Okay, for posterity, we'll go through.
Let's just go through them in alphabetical order then.
Okay.
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon.
Status, captured, docked at Varen base. Priority level, high. Notes, to be used in invasion of organizational group Starfleet. Asset must be preserved at all cost. Access docking location. Vessel currently docked on level 27. Access available via secondary cargo lift.
So that's it. We just need to get to level 27.
All right.
But we have more. Enter Eidolon.
Who's doing this one?
Eidolon. We fight for what was lost. We fight to hold back the onslaught. We will do whatever it takes to halt the advance of the enemy, no matter... Ham?
Only a couple weeks to write all of this.
I guess how many?
No matter how many generations it takes. No price is too high to end the threat of our mortal enemy.
Anyways.
And I'm Batman.
Batman.
This entry was hard to write because I was racking my brain trying to figure out what the Eidolon would say about themselves.
Enter enemy.
Enemy. Threat level extreme. Details classified. Attached file. Enemy hollow.
Yum, 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 yum.
Open file
yum,
enemy
yum.
hollow.
Yum, yum, yum,
Sir,
yum,
there's
yum.
something displayed on the hollow viewer.
But what is it? It's hard to see.
In the Shadow of Midas Part 4 is what it is.
Sequel hook. See, cryptic.
It looks like a Kilrathi.
Cryptic.
That would be funny if it
want
was a
part
Kilrathi.
It actually does a little.
On part 4, gonna bring back the Foundry.
Yeah. So what I love about this is I inadvertently recreated the future guy effect.
Yeah,
It's
you
just a
did.
silhouette.
Yeah. There's one or two ways to do that.
Basically, what it is you have to like put like multiple transparency effects on top of each other, and then it just like skips drawing the character model completely. It just kind of like gives you an outline.
All right. What do we got? I think Kamala is next.
Kamala.
It's Duncan's turn.
Kimala. Status captured. Species Trisarian. Threat level low. Location Agamemnon. Purpose research.
It's Kamala.
It's Kamala.
Yes, sir. They appear to have her on the Agamemnon. I don't know what research means, but it doesn't sound good.
Research.
Return to
Wait, what's the second thing? Oh, just return to root. Never mind. All right, region. You scan through several listings for regions until one catches your eye. Region Oiruna. Rank, region, assignment, vessel Agamemnon, leading efforts to infiltrate organizational group, Starfleet.
Return to root. Enter the name of your ship.
Odin.
Oh, ship.
Status. Are you doing it?
Yeah, fine. Status unknown. Previous dates. Fleeing previous wormhole location. Threat level high. Notes, responsible for destruction of Deep Space Array 17. Evaded takeover. Suspected to have developed anti-Thoron shielding. Capture at all costs.
And just a note, I mean, you blew up one of their arrays. You've one of the first people to ever work up a defense against the Eidolon, and you've only reached threat level high versus the enemy, which is extreme.
Enter wormhole prediction algorithms.
Wormhole prediction.
Wormhole prediction algorithms. Key asset. Status. Stored on vessel Agamemnon. Remote access unavailable.
I think that's it.
That's it. Logging off.
Alrighty, time to move on, I guess.
Talk to Kevin.
Wait, the actual objective is like over there. Got it. We're able to find the Agamemnon.
Yes, it's located on level 27.
Good. We might have a shot at this. I was thinking, Fleet Admiral, once we start causing trouble on the Agamemnon, the Eidolon here on the base are likely to come running. And there are more of them than there are of us. We might need a little insurance.
What did you have in mind?
Back when we were fighting the Borg, we used to use a tactic where we would place an explosive charge near a critical component and set it off right before we hit our main objective. This would always divide the collective's attention and make our job a little easier.
You want to place a bomb?
There are several high-output generators in this room. A well-placed charge would certainly cause a pretty big distraction.
Might prove useful. Very well.
This guy is talking exactly like I would expect a member of the Cardassian resistance to talk.
Mark.
This is you, Mark.
Charge placed. We can remotely trigger it on command.
We should get moving. We need to get to level 27.
There should be a lift or elevator nearby. We can use it to reach the docking port.
Let's get moving.
Because that was the sort of tactic that the Bajorans would use to harass the Cardassians on a daily basis.
I mean, Kemen's not old enough to have been in the Bajoran resistance, but he's also kind of one of those diehard tactical captains.
Well, I mean, he could have been raised on the knee of someone who was.
This looks promising and something like you've built before.
Push the button until it breaks. I mean,
Cargo elevator. Won't be fast, but it should get us to level 27.
I have to dispute that. Oops. This thing is going to take its time getting us there. I think I had a lag spike.
This time things are going to take us time getting us there. Still, we don't have any other options. We should get inside.
Very well.
Everybody aboard?
We're underway. This elevator was designed to move cargo. It has a high lift capacity but low overall speed. We may want to make yourselves comfortable. It'll take us a few minutes to reach our destination.
Understood.
Finally, I have to use this for something.
Cargo elevators in real. My experience with cargo elevators in real life is that they actually move a lot faster than the regular ones because they're not really meant for passenger comfort. So you actually get a feeling of partial weightlessness when you're going down.
Of course, because of the asset needed to create this elevator effect, it has to be slow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome, by the way.
Okay. Talk.
Well, Fleet out. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, Fleet Admiral, we've made it this far.
Captain, I know you want the Agamemnon back, but we need to focus on getting the wormhole data.
It's not just the ship. My crew, I failed them. I failed the lane. You called me captain, but a captain of what? A few officers.
You did everything you could have.
Not enough. I let them take it. Stole it. I have to get them back. I can't leave them like this.
And we'll try. But if we don't get those algorithms, it won't matter if we free the Agamemnon.
I know, Fleet Admiral. I just can't fail them again.
Look, if there's any way to...
Sir, we're approaching our destination.
Very well.
I think we're close, but I'm detecting several heavily armed guards on the other side of the door.
Everyone, be ready to move when I open the door.
Map transition! It's different.
Wow, that piezoelectric field, that thing hurts.
Mark?
This one too.
That's the last of them. The Agamemnon is directly ahead across the gantry. Wait, that's weird, because this time it's not showing the face of my engineering officer. Did you use, tactical officer ship for this one?
Maybe. I built this very hastily.
We can cross the gantry to reach the Agamemnon. We've managed to keep our presence hidden, but I have no idea of what we'll find over there.
Cross the gantry to the Agamemnon.
See, because remember in Darkness Between the Stars, I attempted to do a thing where you have two science officers in a conversation with each other, and you basically just like stand there watching your two science officers talk to each other about the thing. Well, it's a trick that I did that relies on you having a different science officer on your away team than on your ship.
Okay.
I tend to do sometimes.
And this is tactical, Mark.
This is it, sir. We finally made it to the Agamemnon. Hello, old girl. I'm sorry I left you.
We shouldn't stay here.
Right. Oh, of course. We can't let the Eidolon find us here. I propose we split up. I'll take my team down to the lower decks and keep the Eidolon distracted. Set off a few false alarms, conduct a bit of minor sabotage, that sort of thing. Nothing to give away our presence, but we'll hopefully keep those Eidolon looking the other way. While we do that, you should be cleared to head straight for stellar cartography. If they're keeping the wormhole data anywhere, it'll be there.
Very well, but stay out of sight. If the Eidolon realize we're here...
Ah, dang it.
What now?
I double-clicked accidentally. It had 2 inputs.
This will get much harder.
Don't worry.
Go back.
They won't even know we're there. Once you've secured the data, send me a message over an encrypted comm channel and we'll meet you.
Understood.
Radio.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if I completed the objective.
Locate stellar cartography. Dragoon, which way?
Probably this way.
I was going to say,
No,
Mark,
that's a force field.
Looks like the Eidolon have activated a number of security fields around the ship. The route to stellar cartography isn't going to be a straight course. We'll need to find some other way.
I was going to say, since Mark's never done this before, we should let him lead.
Lefties. Nope, this isn't it.
On second thought, letting Mark lead is a terrible idea.
Well, okay, what I mean by lefties is it's an old trick for finding your way through a maze. Is that each time you have a junction, you take a left turn, and you just like keep doing that until you eventually get to the exit. The security field is blocking your way. It looks like it only covers a quarter. Maybe we can circumvent it through one of the adjoining rooms.
Yay!
Let's look around.
I think we should look at the ship collection.
So many ships.
Somebody has an Eagle Moss subscription.
I recognize these. They're Falconmeyer Starship models. Some Ferengi a while back started a subscription service for these things. A one every month sort of scheme. Funny thing is that they've actually become quite popular. I have a couple myself, though I buy them aftermarket. Dragoon, that is actually true.
Yeah, it's very true.
This is basically you and me, because I had the subscription,
well,
and then
like,
you were buying some aftermarket.
I have 2, and they're aftermarket. I've got the Discovery Bird of Prey and the Enterprise B.
Yeah, and it's one of those last name things. I was coming through here writing dialogue to finish off the map, and I looked at this thing. It's like, those are totally Eagle Moss models. Somebody's got an Eagle Moss collection.
Whoever had these.
I did not see that dialogue on my first trip through, so I was making that joke without even knowing it.
Yeah, I want one.
I want one.
And you can see the base outside.
Yes, you can.
Wee, pretty. All right, time to go through the other door.
Door.
All right, more left turns.
Except that door doesn't open.
You know, my first hint on that should have been the fact that there's the blank 5-foot things on the other side of the wall. Another force field, forcing us to take a circuitous route. Maybe we can find a way through another room.
Blue door.
This looks like the Agamemnon sick bay, sir. There are a number of Eidolon here, but they appear to have not noticed us. We might be able to sneak past them. Or I could throw a... I don't remember what kind of grenade those are.
Sneaking, I'm sneaking.
Great sneak. He is light as a feather. He makes no sound.
All right, force fields that way.
Sneaking is too slow.
That's a dummy door. Left is not a door that opens.
So
right is a room with a bunch of people to shoot. Yay, people to shoot.
Sneak.
Sir,
hold a moment. This cargo bay is full of Eidolon.
They don't seem to have noticed us.
They may be distracted This is mine.
I guess you're the science
This
officer.
is science.
They may be distracted by their work, sir. If we don't draw attention to ourselves, we may be able to cross without them realizing we're not one of them.
Just try and act casual.
Yes. Sneak, 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 sneak.
But funny enough, these guys are all set to timid. So unless you actually shoot them, they're not going to attack you.
Yeah, my bridge officers started deploying combat pets, and Lieutenant Tardigrade went to the previous lab room, and then I had to kill everyone.
This is it, sir.
What's
Stellar
this giant
cartography.
ring structure?
You'll see.
See you in a moment.
I'll see you in a moment.
Looks like the super gate from Stargate.
You'll see.
This is it, sir. Stellar cartography should be directly through these doors. All right, and everybody together.
Nope.
Did not read instructions.
Oops. Well, at least you've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen this before. Twice, actually. Because we did this on Round Tab 2.
The central control console is directly ahead. We can activate the stellar cartography lab from there.
What are you talking about? This is Cerebro.
It does actually look a lot like Cerebro. That is like the first thing I thought when I looked inside. It's like, it's that thing.
An oversized version of the stellar cartography from Generations.
And then Duncan falls into the void.
Nope.
Oh.
Too bad.
Still stuck in the door. Oh, well. There, the lab is online. Wait, is that the science officer?
No, it's mine. The lab is online. We need to begin the search to locate the wormhole prediction algorithms.
From search.
There it is. Still intact. We should download it quickly. You can use your tricorder to transfer the data.
Wait, how can you tell? You're outside the door.
I guess you can still see the quest dialogue pop up.
He's a witch.
Burn him!
Trap him at the door.
That's it. We have what we need to get back to the ship.
All right, Mark, this is you.
Sir, I found something. I was accessing the security feeds and discovered a live feed from the science lab on deck 2. Let me guess. It's the Trianan person? Yeah, that person.
Regent Oirun.
How long before the equipment is ready?
Continue.
Not much longer. We'll be ready in 15 minutes.
I have waited this long. A little longer will make no difference. Understood, child. I do not bear you ill, but you have something we need.
Hey, I know who she's talking to.
Kamala is suspended in the tank, a respirator muffling her words. She bangs against the wall of the tank angrily.
I've seen this in comic books a few too many times. I can only guess how irritating that sort of thing would be.
Kamala!
Kamala!
Your anger and frustration will not help you. We need to understand how you are able to withstand our control. We know the deviant vessel, your ship, was able to resist us, and I suspect your unusual physiology played a part. Their continued resistance cannot be tolerated.
So I've created several. Hang on a second. I've created several characters to have be my store my Foundry costumes. Basically, I need to name one of their ships your ship, USS your ship. Anyway,
Regent, I will inform you when we are ready for the extraction.
Turn it off.
Sir, it's Kamala. We have to save her.
You said she's being held on deck 2?
This is you, Mark.
Oh, yes, sir. But we would have another opportunity. Deck 2 would put us close to the bridge. With Captain Kimmon's command codes, we could lock down the ship and knock out the crews, similar to what we did with our ship.
Then we have our next objective. Away team to Kemen.
Kemen here. We able to get the data?
Yes, Captain, and we believe we may have an opportunity to free the Agamemnon from the Eidolon.
I like the sound of that.
Meet us on deck 2.
Understood. We're on our way.
End communication.
We should shut down stellar cartography before we leave.
Understood.
And get Duncan out of the wall.
Yay!
No.
Now he's stuck inside a bigger wall.
All right,
I
Mark.
hit the button.
Nope. Oh!
Trapped it for what?
Victory!
Yeah, but you trapped the cameraman.
I mean, it's not part of this map, is it? I mean, we just go back to the elevator, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. There should be a turbo lift around the corner and take the left, deck 2. Very well. In control.
Somehow I knew that was going to happen.
Here to take the turbo lift to deck 2.
I'm ready to leave everyone else and go to deck 2.
Yay! Party elevator!
On the upside, for ground, you at least get 3 bridge officers to help you kill things.
We have arrived on deck 2. The science lab should be on the deck, as well as the maintenance corridor, which should take us straight to the bridge. We should wait for, and just a word from Mark, do not run ahead on this one. Like, yeah, I mean, it can...
Yeah, we really have to stay together on this one.
Fleet Admiral, we have people to shoot.
Yay! Deviants! We have deviants on the Agamemnon. Where's the alarm?
Take up defensive positions.
All right, now shoot him.
Say hello to my little friend.
My big friends.
And wait for combat to go away.
Okay, that's weird because it says Captain Keminol, and I'm seeing a picture of my bridge officer.
It's supposed to be the tactical officer.
Sir, the ship has been alerted to our presence. We don't have much time before this deck is overrun with Edelad.
We have to move quickly.
Peter, but what in the name of the prophets is going on?
Captain, we have a problem.
It's time to shoot your entire crew. Sorry. Every alert on the ship is going off. What happened?
An Elon patrol stumbled on us, and we were coming out of the turbolift.
Every last one of those blasted Elon are going to be running to this spot.
Kamala is also here. We need to rescue her as well.
Look, I'm sorry about your friend, but the lives of my entire crew are at stake. I'm taking my team and we're retaking the bridge. I can't wait for you to make up your mind.
Captain, wait. You're no good to your crew if you get yourself killed.
Not gonna wait for you.
No. Yeah.
So don't follow.
So, don't follow. So we have to make a choice, right or left.
Hang on, we gotta set off the charge first.
Okay.
It's no use. He's gone, sir.
Unfortunately.
Mark.
Sir, we need to buy ourselves some time. We still have the charges we planted on the Eidolon base. Detonating them may stall the Eidolon a little.
Very well. Oh.
That should buy us a few minutes.
Yay.
Sir, what
Sir.
should we do? We may not have enough time to save both Kamala and assist Captain Kemen in retaking the bridge. I'm afraid you must make a choice.
All right, so guys, left or right?
So I think it's going to be effectively Foundry Cannon that we went right. Sorry, left.
Yeah,
I think I'm the only one who did right.
So
It's like, I mean,
So we
Well,
do you want to know the way that nobody takes?
straight.
There is a third option.
Oh, we're doing the third. What's the third option?
Let me ask, do you want to take the third option?
Let's
Sure.
take the third option.
let's take the
Okay,
third option.
because I don't know if anyone have ever taken this.
Okay.
We're following
All
you.
Yep.
And of course, I can outrun you, so you know.
Because what is the most Deus Ex Machina thing in all of Star Trek?
Q.
The transport.
You use the transporter to reconfigure everyone's DNA to make them immune to Edelin infection.
Uh,
I'm in the button.
Okay.
Fleet Admiral, this is the controls for the transporter. Why are we here?
I have an idea.
It is a cunning plan, not just an idea. What do you have in mind?
Can we use the transporter to beam Kamala out of the science lab?
Maybe. We don't have precise coordinates on her, but we might be able to scan for a species and lock on that way.
Do it.
Scanning? Research lab now? Nothing ever. Sir, it's near a perfect match.
Energize.
Transport in progress.
I just saw a kill light up.
We didn't exactly
we got
log
the
on.
region.
Oh no.
Wrong one.
Shoot her.
See, because that's actually one thing I learned in this game a long time ago is what I call like the spider sense way of detecting enemies. Is just you look at your little like indicators on your tray to see when there's a thing telling you can shoot at someone.
That did not go as expected.
No, it did not.
He said near perfect match, and the first thing that popped into my head is that's the other one. Same species, different individual.
She's the same race as Kamala, so the targeting sensors couldn't tell the difference. Sir, we still have a choice to make. What are your orders?
Find the other one.
All right.
So does this actually change an outcome, or
It
do we
does,
just kill her
but
for funsies?
We need to go help Kemen now.
Okay.
Which is...
Oh,
I think I get it.
Because essentially what this done is it's delayed Kamala's death.
Okay, so I have to ask a question about this particular part of the map. Were you inspired at all by the Starfarer from Star Citizen? Because the hallway that leads to the bridge is like exactly like this.
I think this was just more a matter of convenience because I needed a way to get from deck 2 to deck 1.
Also, we have very few props that include ramps, and that's one of them.
Best conference, or one of it's a good conference room.
And one of my favorite views.
The ships, curved wall, the outside bits.
Wait, so this is an Odyssey?
It's actually a region class.
Oh.
I think in part 1 I still call it a Sovereign.
Yeah, close enough.
One of those I just forgot.
I really just love the Thompson machine gun's secondary fire animation. It's brilliant.
You're just like screaming.
It makes it a proper rat-tat-tat-tat noise when you fire it. Captain, you came!
I couldn't abandon you and the crew of the Agamemnon, although I certainly tried.
I got outvoted.
I'm glad you showed up when you did. Those idling weren't messing around. Give me a moment. I almost have the systems locked down.
How much time do you need?
Almost there. That's it. I put everything on. Emergency locks out. Accessible only from the bridge. Projected to the others. You could engage all of the security fields from that security console over there.
Yay.
Understood.
Stab the console.
You have full access to the ship security systems.
Lockdown. All decks.
That's you, Mark.
That's it, sir. All movement throughout the ship has been restricted. The Eidolon can't send any reinforcements.
What happens now?
Now that I have my crew contained, I can work on recovering them. Thank you, Fleet Admiral. I couldn't have done this without you. What about that friend of yours? What happened to her?
We took care of the region, but she's still in danger.
We had a cunning plan.
Hey, it did something.
It sort of worked.
We need to hurry. The other Eidolons still pose a threat. Go. I'll take it from here. I'll meet you in the transporter room later.
We'll meet you there.
Whee!
Lieutenant Tardigrade said we should do a thing, and we listened to him, and then we realized.
Do not ever listen to Lieutenant Tardigrade.
Well, not until he's older and he learns about things.
You guys didn't set up your characters for maximum running speed, did you?
No, I did mine for combat.
Well, see,
I rarely pay that much attention.
One of the ground traits for increasing your run speed also increases your melee combat damage.
But I use ranged weapons.
Not how I'm doing stabby death.
Sir,
it's Kamala.
Sir, it's Kamala.
I see her.
Deviants!
They've come
How
for the
could
girl.
They've come for the girl.
By the way, what is the name of her species?
Tristanian.
Wait, no, I meant the Eidolon researcher.
I never gave him a name. I just call them the deer people.
I want deer people on buff. Make happen, Truck.
It uses Foundry stuffs that can't be replicated in the normal character editor.
Unless they do stuff.
Because they have like tails and trill spots all the way down their body.
That's why I want them.
Where's the regent? What have you done with her?
Ready weapons.
Flying tardigrades.
I am definitely really proud of how many possible outcomes this map can have.
Yeah, so you've got the 3. Is there a 4th?
No, just
besides
the 3.
Completely screwing up.
I don't think you can completely screw up.
I think
This definitely reminds me of the way Bethesda does their multiple pathing, because they're fond of not telling you what all of the actual options really are.
It's definitely her, sir.
Kamala, are you all right?
She's still stuck in the tank, isn't she?
Be patient. We'll get you out of there.
Yeah, we can use a monitoring station and get her out of the tank.
Yeah.
Console displays access to the lab controls.
Transport subject out of the tank.
Transport complete.
Finally! What took you so long? They wanted to cut open my head. If that regent lady hadn't disappeared when she did, I'd be done for. Luckily, with her gone, the others didn't seem to know what to do.
We attempted to beam you out, but locked on her by mistake.
Sir, we should proceed to the transporter room. Put the shame behind us. We beam back to the runabout from there.
Very well. Everyone, move out.
Ooh, alert.
Go, go, go.
So all of this kind of works on the... Going the wrong way, Duncan.
Oh, I was watching the mini map. There we go.
So all of this
barely
works
displays walls.
because talk to contact and pop-up dialogues, you could do triggers on the choices, but only for objectives. And so all of this is based on which objective you do first.
Also, one thing with the Foundry is that when you have dialogue that pops up based on a non-quest objective trigger, the player won't really notice the difference between that and an actual quest dialogue.
Yeah, no, you definitely use that to advantage.
This is the transporter room. This is the transporter room. Once we're ready, we can activate the transporter pad from the control booth.
Are you feeling all right, engineer?
It's been a long day. I've been trapped in deep space for God knows how long.
6 years.
Both me and Greendragoon are using the human engineering Borg.
Okay, so let's talk to Captain Kemen first.
Mark?
Oh, oops. Thank you, Fleet Admiral. I didn't think I would ever be able to save my ship. My officers are already working on forcing the Eidolon out of the crew. After that, we'll need to warp away from the Thoron field. But you need to get back to your ship. They need their captain.
See you soon, Captain.
Yes, we can talk to the person now.
I have a mental picture of Lieutenant Tardigrade in a priest uniform dousing people with water, just kind of going through the motions.
You know, one thing that occurred
the power
to me
of spores compels you.
is what happens if you shoot the Eidolon with anti-Thoron beams.
Nothing good.
Dr. Kamala.
Honestly, I thought that that was going to be the end of me. The Eidolon seemed concerned that you had escaped. I don't know. I think they're not used to someone resisting them like that. Thanks for coming back for me.
You're welcome. And we tap the console. Activate the transporter.
See, also, one thing that occurs to me is that my ship actually uses Thoron enhanced polaron beams. So, yeah.
So they basically travel along your beams and take you over.
We can use the transporter to beam you back to the runabout, fellow non-infested friend peoples.
I don't trust this guy.
Away
team to run about Wabash. Do you read?
Yeah, you're alive. I guess Helna knows those. I owe Helna those 5 strips after all. I read you, Fleet Admiral. Transporters are linked, and I'm ready to bring you aboard. Please tell me we're finally ready to go home.
We have the data. We just need a ride back.
I'm ready to get out of here. I've been poked and prodded and almost killed enough.
Fleet Admiral, before you go, I just scanned the area around where the next wormhole will appear. There's a micronebula nearby. Once you get to the rendezvous point, fly inside the micronebula. If we can manage it, we'll try and meet you there. I know what micronebula means in Stowe. Ugh.
Once you reach the rendezvous point, meet the Agamemnon inside the micronebula before you approach the coordinates for the next wormhole. We'll see you there.
Yeah, maybe the only thing that you would need to do there is just be like, have like a mission note, like, this is really important.
Well, I added in some mission info into the right before you go in. It says, if you have anything you need to do it now. But I think still people are still missing it.
Yeah, I would sort of just put like a big disclaimer right at the top of that saying, this is really important, pay attention.
Why not?
The transporter is all set. We need to step onto the pad, peoples.
Very well.
Let us go and do my things.
We're totally not bringing an Eidolon back with us. There's no possibility of that.
Setting by to receive.
Energize.
Away.
I shared on Twitter
our engineer on.
I shared on Twitter the review that I got of the person who is role playing his crew taken over by Eidolon. He made a new version of his crew, except they're all Eidolon.
Well, one thing that occurred to me this weekend that I had screwed up is when the Legion of Myth guys were doing diplomacy in the Gamma Quadrant, is I forgot to tell them how to trigger the things where you fight endless. Because I was wondering if they would accidentally trigger one of them, but they didn't.
We're on course for the wormhole coordinates. We'll arrive in 4 minutes.
Open a channel to the survivors' outpost.
Aye, sir. Channel open.
This is Elder Onra. We are receiving you.
We're forwarding the coordinates to the next wormhole to you.
We have received them, and we forwarded them to our vessels, who are already on their way. All of our ships have been equipped with Thoron shielding. We have 3 refugee convoys, as well as a wing of star vessels, being led by Commander Selwyn to cover your retreat.
Very well. We will attempt to clear the area before they arrive.
Sir, we are coming up on the coordinates now.
Prepare to slow to impulse. Whoosh.
We have arrived, Fleet Admiral. I'm detecting a number of destroyed stellar bodies. It appears a supernova ravaged this system some time ago. The remains of a destroyed planet lie directly ahead. The algorithms predict that the wormhole will appear inside the planetary remains.
Sir, the Eidolon know about this location. It would be reasonable to assume that they have a presence here already. If you have anything you wish to do before we move in, now would be the time.
Very well. To the left!
Yeah.
So instructions were to go to the Agamemnon.
Go to the
micronebula.
Which is up here, right?
Yep. Oh, there's one nebula.
Like I say, I made it a different color and everything. I'm not detecting the Agamemnon anywhere on sensors. There's no way of knowing what happened to the Captain Kemen and the Agamemnon after we left.
We can't afford to wait any longer. The wormhole could open any minute.
Very well. We don't have a choice. Hopefully they make it here before the wormhole closes.
So then we just go to the nav straight on, right?
Yep. Awesome. My ship can do this.
Get the torpedoes. Full speed ahead.
At least until the pop-up dialogue.
I'm detecting island ships directly ahead. They're not waiting for the wormhole to open. We'll need to clear them out before the refugee ships arrive.
Bring weapons online.
Pew pew.
Here, have a little of that and shoot at each other.
Just occurred to me that I don't have a hanger pet that does Polaron damage. That would be useful in situations where I'm trying to do a whole bunch of that. These are Breen ships. And apparently this character has never shot Breen before. Just got an accolade for killing 20 Breen ships. The island vessels have been destroyed.
Sir, I'm detecting a spike in tachyons. The wormhole is about to open.
Send a signal to the survivor vessels. Let them know the door is open.
Message sent. I am receiving confirmation that the first group of refugees transports are inbound.
They're not the only ones. I have hostile island vessels on an intercept course.
Bring us about. We need to protect the freighters.
And by hostile island vessels, they mean the guys that are standing right next to me. Okay then.
And are about to be scrap metal.
Shoot, 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 shoot.
Cool. I'm almost up to 100,000 Polaron damage done.
The first convoy is through, Fleet Admiral. The next one is on its way.
I'm detecting more island ships, a lot more. I'm also detecting another group of vessels. It's a survivor defense ships. Incoming transmission.
On screen.
I think I had her.
Uh,
I don't remember what voice I used for her. Oh, that's right. You look like you need assistance. We arrived as quickly as we could. I've been waiting years to take the fight to the Eidolon.
We're grateful for this help.
That's
Thank
another
you for
race I wouldn't
spawning
mind
directly
saving.
on top of me. Yeah. Boy.
How about a little fire, Scarecrow?
That's a lot of allied ships, too.
Well, everything's
allied
scaling up
ships get
because we're a group.
multiplied by the,
Oh, yeah, I know. The second convoy is through. Just one more remains.
Are the Eidolon sending more ships?
Yes, sir. I'm reading another wave inbound.
We need to hold out.
Activate duck shoot protocol.
This is hard even on my computer.
Yay, I got my 150,000 Polaron damage.
That's it, sir. The last convoy is through the wormhole.
Excellent. Prepare to...
Sir, I'm reading multiple incoming warp signatures. One of them is Starfleet. We're being hailed.
On screen.
You didn't think we'd miss the party.
You almost missed it.
Apologies for being late. It took us a while to slip out of there while the Eidolon were chasing you. Luckily, your departure was an adequate distraction. Listen, we don't have much time. The wormhole could close at any moment. The Eidolon are right behind me. One of us has to get back to the Admiral and explain all this. We'll hold these Eidolon off while you get home. Just go, Captain. Okay, so what happens if we choose to fight and just blow the living crap out of every single one of these things that shows up?
It changes the dialogue a little. The end.
The Atlant Dreadnought has been destroyed. Sir, the Agamemnon is hailing us. I thought I told you to go through the wormhole.
Need I remind you, Captain, that I outrank you?
I guess I can't argue with that, Fleet Admiral.
Sirs. Sorry.
Sirs, we both need to get through the wormhole. We don't have any more time.
Set course, best possible speed. Captain, follow us through.
I have actually on multiple occasions in Foundry missions just checked to see what happens if you decide to ruthlessly hunt down enemies that aren't supposed to be killed. It's like, hey, there's this giant there's a giant fleet over there that we couldn't possibly kill. And I'm like, really? Sounds like a challenge. All right, who's doing Harkins?
I got it. Fleet Admiral, I can't tell you how glad I am to see you in one place. We all had but given up hope. It's been so long.
The Agamemnon is right behind us.
Maybe.
We're not detecting it. Wait, there she is now.
It's good to be home.
Yay. Cameron, it's good to have you back. When you failed to report back, we feared you dead.
We nearly were. Without the help of the Admiral and the ship, we would have been...
Somewhat.
I'm sorry to
report that the Persephone went down with all hands.
I know you did everything you could.
But I'm going to have to execute you now, just for failure. Sorry.
It will all be in my report, Admiral.
Of course, but may I ask, who are all these people you brought through?
Refugees, Admiral, fleeing a dangerous species known as the Eidolon.
I see. I trust your judgment on this. We'll keep them in quarantine and then hand them down to the Federation Refugee Affairs Office. That's all I need for Harkins out.
End communication.
Fleet Admiral Kamala wishes to speak with you.
Very well. Show her to the bridge.
There you are. I wanted to thank you before I go.
You can't leave me.
You're leaving?
Yes, many of the refugees you brought back are from my planet. When we left Tristana, I thought my people were all Eidolon. Now that they're here, we're going to build a new home safe from the Eidolon. Won't bring back my family, but it's still more than I ever could hope for.
It is good that you can be with your people.
Oh, but don't think this is the last you've seen of me. When I'm older, I'm going to become a star sailor too.
I bet you'll be great at it.
That's my hope. Anyway, I better get going.
If you ever need a sponsorship for Starfleet Academy, well, let me know, because I won't give you one.
All systems are online, sir. We are ready to depart to your secret locations on your orders.
Let's get moving. We totally don't have a spy aboard.
Hey, which direction is FTC 47 from here?
This is from the author.
Want to read it?
Yeah,
go for it.
Go for it.
I mean, you're the author, so of course you should read it.
I want to thank you for playing in the Shadow of Midas. I didn't intend for it to take so long to complete this final chapter. My only regret is that it took the closing of the Foundry to finally get me to finish it. Working in the Foundry has been an incredible experience, more than I thought possible for a game. It saddens me to see it go, but I want to thank all the people who wrote me conveying their eagerness to finally play Part 3, and there were many, or the heartfelt reviews, as well as the ever-inspiring Foundry community, many of whom have become dear friends. Lastly, I want to thank the wonderful devs at Cryptic, without whom we would have never have had the Foundry to begin with. It truly was the final frontier. Lastly, I want to leave you with a final request. Remember the Foundry, all of the wonderful stories, characters, and experiences that we've had over the last 7 years. While the Foundry is disappearing shortly, possibly forever, the experience and memories will live on for...
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Give you more tip.
Oh, actually, I just thought of something. What happens to the tip jar if we don't empty it before the Foundry gets shut off?
I'm going to be emptying it out tonight. To be honest, I don't know what's involved in the shutdown. Whether it's just going to be disabling it like they would for a downtime, or if they're literally like ripping it out.
So
I'm
probably going to have to mark this as something that works better for solo than groups because of the way you did the map triggers, some of them.
I wouldn't suspect that like ripping it out would be a huge job. So
that's what I think.
Yeah. So
it could just be a patch to basically just like hide every single part of it, so that you can't like see it, even if it's like still there in the background somehow.
Yeah, Kel was kind of indicating that the data is essentially going to still be there.
Yeah.
And so I mean your demos may work tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah. So it's just don't make any presumptions about what may or not happen. We don't know. Cryptic doesn't know either for some of the stuff, especially on the demo record front. So get done everything you need to tonight. Don't assume things will be working one way or the other tomorrow. So
okay. Sir Boulevard says the data is going to a separate server.
Okay, and then
they're not working on Turbo.
Okay. So there we go. So assume that demo records aren't going to be working, so I need to get to that tonight.
All right, well, I don't have enough time tonight to do it, so...
well,
it's already 11 p.m. Here I am.
Yep. So, thanks everyone for joining us, and obviously thanks everyone for joining us for the past 6 years of the Foundry Roundtable. We will be signing off from this, but obviously we're still around. We're obviously, all of us on Twitter, so hit us up there or on the forums or wherever.
Oh yeah, if anyone wants to play a fun space strategy game, play Space Empires 5. I still love it, even though I've been playing it for 15 years or so.
And one final time, if you actually do want to find us on Twitter, our personal Twitter handles are up there on the screen.
Yep. But with that, we will say good night.
Good night.
Good night.